And my name is Dr. Simon Moshara Kigondu. I am an obstetrician gynecologist, but I also double up as the president of the Kenya Medical Association. The Kenya Medical Association is a professional association registered in Kenya with a twin mission of welfare of its members and advocating for the highest quality of healthcare for all. Concerning the topic of today, a single business permit. Maybe just to go back to what a permit is. A permit is a document that allows you to do something. A business permit is a permit that is given normally by previously local council or county governments to allow you to do something. The single business permit is in the realm of what are called trade licenses. Trade licenses are issued by county governments, and you pay a fee. You pay a fee for services, for trade, for trading, so to speak. So county governments collect these fees as part of their revenue. Many of the trade licenses are for businesses, so to speak. Of course, or with time, there'll always be a debate on how much you should pay for a trade license. In medicine, there is the easiest way to understand this is that if, for instance, you own a shop, an M-Pesa shop, then you will be required by law to pay the county government for a trade license. And that's all good. However, the trade or the business of certain professionals, professionals are have undergone some form of specific professional training, so to speak, are regulated by other bodies. And when you have professionals that are regulated, then the professionals in that profession pay to a regulatory body just to pay. And what they pay for is for a license to practice. And this can be equated to a trade license. So for doctors specifically, then the body that licenses and sort of governs the medical profession in Kenya is the body called the Kenya Medical Practitioners Dentist Council, previously the Medical Board. What does the Medical Council do? One of the roles, so to speak, of the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council is to license doctors and dentists. And as part of the licensing procedures, then you need to pay a fee. So me as Dr. Kigondu, practicing as a gynecologist, I pay a license called a specialist fee. And it's a lot of money. Over and above that, the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council also licenses facilities. And if I use my facility, for instance, called Exela Healthcare, where gynecological services are undertaken, then the facility also, over and above the individual licenses of the doctors pays a facility fee depending on its level to the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council. As a result of this, from my description, you can see that before even starting to practice or seeing patients in a clinic as a gynecologist, I have paid for that trade called medicine twice. I have paid my individual fee to the KMPDC, and the facility has also paid a fee to that. This is slightly different from the M-Pesa shop, for instance, that pays a fee directly to the council called a trading license. As a result of this, to avoid what is double and triple taxation, then there is legislation that exempts professionals who are regulated and pay regulated fees from trading licenses. And some of these professionals are not only doctors, but they include professionals like architects and quantity surveyors, pharmacists under the Pharmacy and Poisons Act, Cap 244, doctors and dentists, as I had alluded to, Cap 253 of the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Act, nurses under the Nurses Act, Cap 257, surveyors under the Surveyors Act, Cap 299, veterinary surgeons under the Veterinary Surgeons Act, Cap 366, auctioneers under the Auctioneers Act, Cap 526, engineers under the Engineers Registration Act, accountants under the Accountants Act, Cap 531, there is so-called an exemption from the Trading License Act, which is equivalent to the single business permit. So what is a single business permit? The county governments charge businesses what is called a business permit, single business permit, which is in effect a trading license. Now moving to the reason why I decided to do this live is that we have had county governments harassing doctors and other medical practitioners who have paid the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Council licenses both at an individual and a facility level, harassing them to pay what they term as a single business permit. These single business permit licenses are actually exempt from payment. As of late as today, the county government moves around with a vehicle, entering doctors' clinics and picking the secretaries and taking them to City Hall to extort them of monies for a license that they are exempt from paying. I have received many calls from distraught doctors who are maybe far, maybe in a hospital doing an operation, and they hear that their clinic has been raided by county government officials claiming they want a business permit. The Kenya Medical Association has issued a directive to all its members that they should not pay the single business permit if they have been registered with the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Council. In the year 1999, a Kenya Medical Association doctor was whisked by the same Thika Municipal Council askaris to a prison because he had not, what they say, paid a trading license. The Kenya Medical Association ex parte sued the county council then of Thika and got a judgment ruling that to this day is quoted by all who go to court on the basis of a single business license, that professionals cannot be subjected to double jeopardy taxation because they have already been paid for their licenses to their respective regulatory bosses. So in 1999, the Kenya Medical Association got this doctor out of jail, and the county then was a municipal council were barred from charging those who are regulated the trading license, also called a single business permit. But serikali ni nani? The county council of Nairobi in the year 2010 was also notorious for arresting doctors and people on the basis of a business permit. And it took the notice dated 28th September 2009 from the then town clerk of the City Council of Nairobi on single business permit, because our members complained of harassment from the City Council for licenses that they should not pay. And I quote verbatim that the town clerk wrote that single business permit, the above refers, it has come to the attention of the ministry that some local authorities are demanding fees from the members of the professionals whose practice is regulated by legislation as set out in the second schedule of the Trading License Act. And the town clerk then listed all those professionals that I alluded to earlier, including doctors. He continued and said that Section 16(1) of the Trading License Act does not apply to persons conducting professional and consultancy services as set out in the second schedule of the Act. The second schedule of the Act then included those professionals that are regulated. Since the law excludes prescribed professionals from the application of a Trading License Act, the local authority cannot impose any other license, either in the form of a business permit or a single business permit. And the town clerk went on to give your attention is brought to the court's ruling in the case of Nairobi High Court Miscellaneous App number 782 of 2000 versus the Municipal Council of Thika, the case I alluded to, and another ex parte Kenya Medical Association and 3 others, where the court, in upholding the above position, held that a local authority and the Minister of Local Government has no authority to approve and apply any other license by whatever name called to the prescribed professionals. To do so would not only be unlawful, but would amount to double jeopardy of payment of 2 parallel licenses in respect to professional practice. And at that, he concluded that you are requested to stop levying fees to the members of the above professionals. And that was the then town clerk, Sami Kirui, CBS PS. And this was circulated. But serikali ni nani? Who is who? The county governments have continued to harass professionals, trying to force them to pay this single business permit. And as you have seen clearly, these licenses are not supposed to be levied to these regulated professionals. And as a result of that, there have been almost 10 court cases in the different county governments. Now, once devolution occurred, county governments became like Nairobi City Council. And notorious number 1 is Nairobi County Government, Kajiado County Government, And our doctors who have been harassed have refused to accept and lay back their harassment. And I'll give you some examples. In Embu, the gynecologist had her items confiscated by the Embu County Government for failure to so-called pay the single business permit fees. She took them to court, and the court asked the Embu County Government to desist and resist from such things. And they quoted that Nairobi Court Miscellaneous Application 782 of 2000, where KMA sued the Municipal Council of Thika. In Laikipia, the same happened, and the Laikipia government was barred from imposing single business permit on doctors. The same happened in Garissa, where not only the doctors went to court, the pharmacists and a hospital actually took the Garissa County Government to court. And the same happened in Kisii, where a doctor took Kisii County Government to court for harassing doctors on the single business permit issue. Now, in the year 2021, Kenya Medical Association doctor was put in the usual GOONS style by the Nairobi City County Government. And we took, as the association, Kenya Medical Association, took on Nairobi County Government to court for the same thing. And a judgment came in that the Nairobi County Government should not be charging doctors a single business permit as a result of the law that had been interpreted in the miscellaneous app number of 782 of 2000, where Thika Municipal Council and KMA had taken the Thika Municipal Council for putting in a doctor for not paying for a single business permit. Unfortunately, today, the Nairobi County Government, with their usual askaris moving around in a truck, were harassing and picked a few of the secretaries of doctors' clinics, doctors who have paid the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Council twice, both at a professional level and as an institution, on the basis of single business permit. And that begs the question of, is this not the impunity that we are trying to fight? If the government itself, and this is the county government, cannot follow its own, the law, then it will reach a stage where the public will also not follow the law. And those people who are sent to break the law, then it will be a safety problem for them. So what is the way forward? The Kenya Medical Association has given guidelines on what you need to do when the goons come and refuse to listen to the Kenya Medical Association letter that we have issued on a single business permit, the court case that is displayed on the doctor's room, and the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council advisory that has also been issued, stopping people from being harassed from single business permit because they have paid the medical council. So if on several occasions I have actually talked to the people on phone who were purportedly arresting people for not paying single business permit, and they have understood, but they say that they are normally sent by their finance directors at Nairobi County Government. I have tried to meet these directors, finance directors, so as to explain to them to stop sending goons to doctors' clinics and offices for a single business permit, and that is not supposed to be paid as a result of being regulated by a profession, and they come up with all sorts of excuses. The way is the law. When you show them the court case, they say, no, we have been sent. And I think it's time for citizens to stand up. And several things come out of this. The first is that the government should be, even as they are looking for finances, what is called the cost of doing business also affects those who are doing business. Doctors treat people, and before they have treated, they have paid the medical council twice, and it's not a little money. And the law has said that that one to the government is enough. And the medical council is government. The county governments cannot separate themselves from a body that is actually government. And to try to triple tax doctors under the guise of single business permit is totally not allowed. And to this end, we give advice to our doctors as follows. Should you get these goons who come, and the first thing you do is to actually show them the documents, the Kenya Medical Association circular that we sent, giving guidelines on single business permit, the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council guidelines showing that you should not be charged single business permit, and the court cases, the latest one being against Nairobi County Government, that was very clear in its ruling. Once you show them, they are supposed to smile and leave as long as you show them that you have actually paid the medical council. If they insist on payment, then ask them to write you a demand note. Once you write a demand note that is broken down into what should be paid, then you ask them, that's fine. You will send the lawyer with a demand note and the photocopies of the court rulings back to city council government. But the county governments are now using a different trick. They are coming up with what is called a unified business permit. And a unified business permit contains several items that they think should be paid for. Fire, they would come and ask, where have you paid for fire? Yeah, and fire should be paid for, that's fine. And have you paid for, I think the other one they have added is pest control or something like that, which can be paid for, that's okay. But the single business permit component for doctors should not be paid. We will be doing a few more programs on this because it is now becoming a threat to the safety of our doctors. And it's also, when we have reached this Gen Z era of accountability, we need accountability from the county governments that even if they're trying to raise funds, they should not be raising funds illegally. And going further, it is also important that you record these people who are hijacking you, so to speak, so that we can also sue them individually. A person cannot purport to have been sent to break the law by picking you against decent advice. So with that, I would want to see if there are any reactions to this. But should you have any problems being harassed on single business permit, we as the Kenya Medical Association will send out the hotlines and the material you need to do this. And just remember, a long time ago, a lot of the medical professionals, just for the peace of mind and because they are trained to be peaceful, were forced to pay these single business permits for the purposes of peace. Do not pay an illegal fee for the purposes of peace, because next year they will come back bigger and better. When they charged you 20,000 shillings this year, next year they will say it is 50,000 shillings. And we are in court with several county governments on this issue. But this issue is very clear, and following the recommendation of the then town clerk, Sami Kirui, CBS, in 2010, that regulated professions as listed should not be charged any trading license under the guise of single business permit. If you go through our socials and also through mine, both on Facebook and on X, then you will find some of the guidance. Just type single business permit and see what we are talking about. And shame on the county governments or that are harassing our doctors. And it is also important that the ministers charged with the responsibility should also be able to advise and guide their cabinets on this issue. I will reach out to the Cabinet Secretary of Health to pass some of the complaints that we are receiving, because we cannot purport to be promoting business when we're making the business environment very difficult and in an illegal way. Thank you very much. I would now want to see whether there is any feedback on this.